to the North Geelong Football Club. We're at the Thursday night before the big one, the Geelong and District Football League Division 2 Grand Final, and it's with pleasure that I introduce to you the captain coach of North Geelong, Dennis Hines. Welcome, Dennis.
Thanks, Ryan. Thanks a lot.
Mate, a couple of questions I've got to ask you. First of all, will you win Saturday?
I think we should. Yeah, we've been the most consistent side throughout the year, so I shouldn't see any difference on Saturday.
How long has it been in the club history, I think in Geelong and District Football League, that there's been not only the first but also the seconds going for championships?
Oh, I've never heard of it before. I'd say it'd be the first time. I suppose Lara's going for the same sort of thing as we are. It's probably we're both in the same boat.
Sure. How have you fared during the season with your opponents on Saturday, Eastern Suburbs?
I think we beat them by, first time, 8 goals, and the second time, had Eastern Suburbs by about 14 goals. So,
yes.
2 good wins against them.
Yeah, my word. Okay, well now, in those games that you've beaten them quite convincingly, did the weather conditions, what were they like at that time?
Oh, the first time we played them out here, they were, virtually perfect. And when we played them at Eastern Suburbs, it was a bit muddy, but the day was very good itself. So.
Okay, so what you're saying, it appears that the conditions won't have much bearing on the game. You believe that you guys will be able to fire up and bring home the bacon?
Oh yeah, we've played consistently in all sorts of conditions all year, so I can't see any reason why we should change.
Okay, Dennis. Well, look, thanks very much for your time. It's a great pleasure, and I wish yourself and the club and all your players from first and seconds every success. And 5 o'clock Saturday night, mate, I'm sure we'll be having a cold one with you.
Yeah, I hope we've got 2 championships.
Good on you. Well, all the very best, Dennis. Anyway, mate, thanks very much for your time. It gives me great pleasure this evening, the Thursday night before the big one on Saturday, where North Geelong do take on Eastern Suburbs in the Geelong and District Football League Division 2 Grand Final. With me tonight is a key player in the North Geelong side, Dale Travaskis, ruckman back pocket. Dale, welcome tonight.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Mate, you've got a pretty big job being one of the taller players in the side, ruckman back pocket. Do you think that, I'm not sure, I haven't seen you play this year, if you happen to, say, get injured early in the game, because of the size of the club, I believe you're a little small, how do you think that would happen, what effect would that have on the club?
Yeah, well, we have mainly lightweight sort of teammates that are sort of about my height, but unfortunately we don't sort of carry a lot of weight. But I think where our favour is the fact that we're fast on the ball and that, and also the guys can keep going the whole day.
Okay, well obviously with going through the season undefeated to this stage, and I'm sure that there's no reason why you shouldn't bring home the bacon Saturday. I suppose that, okay, these guys might lack a little bit in strength, but they've obviously got good football skills and abilities, and are obviously playing like a very good team.
Yeah, that's correct. So perhaps now that I think we're starting to realise that we are looking at championship, and that's probably putting a bit of pressure on us now, because the other team that we're going to play, we've got the pressure now to prove that we can carry it through the year as we've done.
Well, let's hope that you guys take it in your stride and just take it as if it's another game, because, not very often do people have championships. I think it's a great credit to the club. Just quickly, what main reason do you think has helped the club this year play closer, as obviously they've ever had before, to come through with a possibility of winning a championship?
Well, I think we've picked up a few players at the start of the season, and we've had a return of a few players. We've got the experience now, and I think we owe it to the club, the players, and especially the supporters that have stuck by the club for so long, because we have been down for a while, and on Saturday we're going to prove it, and we're going to help the club in the long run.
Okay, Dale, well look, every success on Saturday for yourself personally. I hope you play very good football, and the team also. All the best for Saturday.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Good on you, mate.
Thanks
for your time. And now we'll cross over to the challenges for Saturday, Eastern Suburbs, and interview the coach, Mario Sponner, and also the president, Mr. Ian Gray. It gives me great pleasure this evening to be present with the Eastern Suburbs captain coach, who are going to be playing against the possible champions of the 1988 Geelong and District Football League Second Division Grand Final in Mario Sponner. Welcome, Mario.
Thanks, Ronnie.
Mario, a big test on Saturday. As I mentioned a moment ago, you're up against North Geelong, who are going for a championship. You've done all the hard work. You've got there. Do you think you can win?
Oh, being coach, it's pretty hard to say no, but I think the pendulum swung in our favour a bit after the last game when I saw them play East Belmont, because they got a few injuries out of the game, and we virtually got a full squad to pick from. We've got 52 guys to pick from, and we haven't got an injury. There's probably one guy that's probably 95% fit, but he's in the reserve, so we've got a full squad to pick from. And from what I've heard on the grapevine, North Geelong have got 3 or 4 of their probably so-called key players that are going to be out on Saturday.
Interesting. So it obviously appears to me that you people here at Eastern Suburbs have taken the tune of the fact that by placing that person that's not quite 100% fit in the twos, that you're going to come out on that field with 20 players who are 100% fit and want to have one thing in mind, and that is win a game of football.
That's right, Ronnie. You know, like, I've played in a lot of grand finals at North Shore, and a couple of times we've come unstuck with playing 80% players or 90% players. You could lose them in 5 minutes, you could lose them 5 minutes into the last quarter, but the thing is, if we've got 20 players that are 100% fit, they've got to be bumped hard, you know, and to bump a person perfectly, very hard, it's very hard to injure them otherwise.
Well, you need a person that's 100% fit to be able to be aggressive in their own mind and body, so that they can confidently do it. If they're carrying an injury, that's when things can go wrong, and you'll end up with 19, 18 players. So I admire yourself and the selection committee for taking that attitude. I think you mentioned the word North Shore, which brings back memories for myself, being an old Newtown man.
That's right.
And I believe that there's a name of Alan Marsh that brings back a few memories for yourself. They tell me that you had a bit of an encounter with him at round 2 with a bit of an altercation, and a split eye was obtained from that, was it?
Yeah, we had a bit of a dust-up. We were talking about old times, and he got a bit frisky and accidentally ran through me. And in his endeavour, I ended up with a cut eye and a bit sore and sorry, but they're one of those things that happen in football. There's no spite. We had a couple of beers after the game, forgot everything.
Well, that's the best way to do it, but Marshy's never changed, has he? I mean, the guy's probably just about ready to, you know, serve his pension, I believe, but he just keeps on punching and keeps playing good, strong football, which is a credit to him. But I'm sure that you'd be looking forward to, without maliciously going out of your way, but maybe square the slate on Saturday.
Oh, I don't think I'll be going out of my way to square the slate. It'd be very good to go up to him after the game and say thanks for the game. It's a bit of bad luck you lost, but, you know, like, we've got nothing to gain, nothing to lose, and everything to gain. They've got everything to lose because they're playing in a championship grand final. You know, it's in their back of their mind. If we lose, we've done the whole year for nothing, whereas we've lost 6 games for the year. We only need to win one big one, and that's it. We've got everything to gain.
Thanks, Mario. It's been a pleasure to be here tonight with you, and I wish you all the very best on Saturday.
Thanks, Ronnie.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
At the Eastern Suburbs Football Club rooms is the president, Mr. Ian Gray. Congratulations, Ian, on obtaining a berth in the Geelong and District Football League Division 2 Grand Final.
Thanks very much, Ron. Appreciate it.
I'm sure you'd be pretty ecstatic. I mean, it's been a very long and hard year for yourself. I mean, as president and with all your merry men as workers that have helped assist Mario get his team on the ground and get to a grand final, I'm sure that you'd be very elated about, you know, making the big one, and I'm sure hoping to take it off. Okay, North Geelong are going for a championship. Can you knock these people off?
I think we can. As has been mentioned before by a lot of other people, they've got one game to lose, we've got one game to win. They've got a lot at stake, so have we. We'd like to win this. Everybody says it's been a long season. It has. The players start pre-season about February. The committee start their pre-season 6 months before that.
Sure.
You mentioned our committee men. We've got committee persons. We've got a small but hard-working committee. We went out recruiting this year, and we got Billy and Bert and Kevin as our coaching panel, we've got complete faith in them, and I think they've got the players to do the job.
Well, that's great. I mean, success on the ground is important, but it is only obtained from the support that you get off the field. And I'm sure with your attitude, and obviously the support that you've had from the people that have worked for you during the season, is only going to hold this club in good stead on Saturday. Any particular focal points or any people that in the senior side on Saturday that you believe could have a very big bearing on the result?
I think there's quite a few focal points, if you call it that. I think our younger players, I've watched them come up through the club. 1 or 2 I've had the pleasure of coaching, but we've got half a dozen in there that have come up through the ranks. You know, we've got Warren Marnie, Steve Keane, a couple of fellas, Grant Greenwood out there.
Right,
they're kids that have come through the ranks, you know, and I think when you're building a club tradition and a club spirit, and which is going to win this game is the club spirit and tradition, they're the fellas who are going to show the experienced guys the way.
I was pretty pleased, just quickly, Steve Keane. You know, he was an under-18 player last year, and I was fortunate as coach of Newtown, had his services last year, and to hear his name be called out as being one of the interchange players for the senior side was a personal buzz for myself. And knowing what Steve's abilities are, I'm sure he'll do his best on Saturday.
He's got plenty of ability, you know. We might even put you on the coaching panel, I think, Ron. Some of the things that he's done this year may have rubbed off from the season he spent at Newtown, but yeah, Keeney's, that's quite right. Keeney is quite a talented player. Be on the interchange bench, he's, you know, it doesn't mean that he's not quite good enough to be there. That's probably a strength that probably Mario's probably looking for.
Oh, look, I'm sure, knowing Mario, coming from North Shore, who uses Gordon Hines, and I suppose didn't have all that much room to move early in his days because the interchange rule has only been around for about 12, 14 years, I believe. But I think knowing Mario, he's pretty progressive, he wants to win, and knowing that he's got 2 fresh, strong young boys on the bench, I'm sure he'll utilise their abilities from time to time. So, you know, I'm looking forward to a great game, Ian, and I'm sure you are.
I'm sure, that'll be a good one.
Do you think conditions will worry you guys at all? Wet or dry? Which would you prefer?
Well, that's probably a question you should have asked the coach. I don't think any conditions, because if you're playing for a grand final, you're playing for a premiership, you know, you're playing anything and you'll win it.
The reason I asked the question to the President is because even though we have a senior captain coach that does know everything, the President always knows that little bit more. Anyway, Ian, all I can say is all the very best on Saturday. I'm sure that win, lose or draw of the Eastern Suburbs clubrooms will be rocking, and I look forward to having a cold beer with you after the game.
You're most welcome, Ron. Thanks very much for the opportunity too.
Thank you.
Football League Division 2 Grand Final, where we're presently watching the
Jerry Dudley
game. And first of all, I'd like to welcome guest commentator this afternoon, Noel Thom. Good afternoon, Noel.
Good afternoon, Ron. Great to be down here at the Western Oval. It's been a very interesting game, this reserves clash between North Geelong and Eastern Suburbs. And conditions pretty good for football. A fairly strong breeze blowing. It swung around in this last quarter to help North Geelong, and the Magpies have now kicked away to a lead. They trailed right up until the three-quarter time break, and I think we're around about a point down at three-quarter time, and they've now gone on to a 13-point lead. They're 6-10-46, and they lead Eastern Suburbs 4-9-33.
Actually, Noel, I think Eastern Suburbs have done very well as North Geelong are going for a championship in the reserve grade game today, likewise the senior game. So full credit to the Eastern Suburbs boys.
Yes, they certainly had North Geelong on the run early in this game and led at the first change and again at half-time. And North Geelong appeared perhaps to be a little overconfident, and some pretty heavy stuff in the packs has caused a number of players to visit the tribunal during the week. But that's what grand finals are all about.
Of course it is.
They upset North Geelong early, Eastern Suburbs, and it's only in this the last 10 minutes of the third term and the first, what are we now, 12 minutes into the final quarter, that North Geelong have got on top for the first time in the game.
Okay, umpires for the reserve grade grand final here. Phil Dower with the play at the moment, and also Brad Worth. Back to centre half forward for North Geelong.
Jerry
Little
Dudley.
fella Dudley kicks the ball to full forward. Marnie can't take the grab though for the North Geelong side. Sorry, that was Ryder. Stevie Ryder was the fellow that went for that particular ball, and unfortunately for him, was unable to hold the football and is now out of bounds about 20 metres from the North Geelong goal. Ruck contest, nicely done by the big fella Robbie McCall. It comes down to his teammate as a quick snap at goal. We'll just check that fellow. It was Miller. the full forward. He's popped through the goal. It's the North Geelong 7th. That's now stretching the lead to 19 points, and I think, as Jack Dye would say, Noel Thom, you can put down your glasses as the horse has bolted.
I think the tails are up now in the Magpie camp. They were pretty dismal early in the game, and as usual, they were blaming umpiring. The umpiring was a little questionable, but North have come right back into this game and have gone away now to a pretty good lead with almost half the final quarter played. They're now 7-10, leading Eastern Suburbs 4-9 as they come into attack again as the big ruckman Speckland, Big Bear, gets the ball down towards the half-forward flank. Here comes a very promising attack from North, up into the goal square, looking for Miller. Up!
Oh,
what a great mark! Oh, he's hand passed into Marnie in the square, and through it goes for another one to North.
Great football, Magpies.
Great football there. Troop, or it wasn't Troop, it was Ryder who flew very high. Came down with the ball, hand passed to Marnie, waiting in the square, and Marnie, who sat on the bench for the first 3 quarters of the game, has had a lot to do with North's revival in this final term. That's his second goal in the last 10 minutes, and now North look on their way to a championship.
I'm sure they do, Noel. At the approaching the 15-minute mark of this final quarter, they've stretched their lead now to 25 points. Pretty impressed with this fella at full forward. He's quite a solid fella, but he's got a good spring on him, hasn't he?
He certainly got up then, and I guess in the last quarter of a game, the legs are starting to feel a bit tired, so that shows that he's conditioned himself well for the game.
Too right.
Big Bear getting the knock out of the centre once again for North Geelong. Up it comes towards the half-forward flank. North are scouting well, using the ball wide. Up it comes towards Ryder again, over his head this time, and it's marked well by Martin of Eastern Suburbs. He kicks to the half-back flank. Good mark taken there, just inside the boundary line too for Eastern Suburbs. And this time it is
David
Neil who kicks the ball out of bounds on the full, much to the delight of the Magpie supporters. And North will go back into attack. Troop will take the ball on centre wing to put the Magpies back into attack.
I'm sure Paul Cameron, the captain coach of the reserve side, will be elated straight after this game, and I'm sure that it's been a well-deserved victory. But nevertheless, there's still 15 minutes of football to go. The kick up to the half-forward flank. No one can take a mark. Dudley's in there for the North Geelong side. Picks the ball up, has a quick snap over his right shoulder on the left foot, is offline, and a minor score is recorded on the Goodyear scoreboard here. Actually, Noel, this afternoon we are presenting trophies which has proudly been sponsored by Victory Trophies, Mr. Jeff Jarvis, and also Guest Productions. So I'm sure the players will look forward to that presentation at the end of the game. Back to the football now, and the umpire Phil Dow has called for a bounce. That is for the main game, Noel. Thanks for that correction. But Phil Dow has got the football. He's going to bounce down on half-forward, member side of the ground. Oh, nice tap there by Miller. Finds his teammate who hand passes to nowhere in particular, and the boundary line again beats all players, and a boundary throw-in to take place about 55 metres from the Magpie goal. Again, the young Magpie ruckman gets the ball down to Terry Dudley. Dudley now pops the ball up into the square. Ryder pushes, but he's taken a great grab.
He's been given the mark, yes.
He uses his body very well, Noel.
He's a strong boy, and he positions himself beautifully then, as he has done on a number of occasions. This time he's been awarded the mark, 1.5 metres out from goal. He'll be directly in front, and if the game isn't over for the Eagles, it's over now if this can be converted. Here's Ryder now coming in. He's gone a long way back. He's going to kick from about the 10-metre line. He seemed to hook it a little bit, but let's wait on the goal umpire. Full points it is. And the Magpies are gloating. They are flying at the moment. They've moved on now. I think the score will change to 9 goals 11. That'll be a total of 65 points. And Eastern Suburbs still back on 4 goals 9-33. No addition to their three-quarter time score.
Noel, great to see the team spirit there of the Magpies. That young ruckman that set that passage of play up, number 17 in Panzik, was congratulated by Dudley and a couple of his teammates. Good to see.
Absolutely, their tails are up now, and I guess they are winners. North Geelong haven't been defeated all year, and they've obviously been very well coached, and they're certainly playing good football for reserve standard. Here's a chance for North again, a big chance in the square there to Pansic, who couldn't quite bring the ball down, but he's picked it up again, tries to get boot the ball, well tackled by the Eastern Suburbs defence. Back it comes to him again, he has another shot, there's no one in the goal square for the Magpies, and Martin clears it away for Eastern Suburbs. Back to the half forward line, but again it's Gillard of North Geelong who has another shot in towards the square, over the head. Dudley taps it over the head of the Eastern Suburbs defender, couldn't regain it again in time, and through it's gone for a minor score. So the Magpies move on. They're now 9 goals, 12 behind, 66 points, and Eastern Suburbs 4 goals, 9. Here's the kick in from Martin, the full-back, favours the outer side. Oh, good mark on the half-back flank to the Eagles, and they will take the ball over the centre for the first time for a long time. No, they won't. In chips North Geelong's Cotter, and Cotter marks just on the attacking side of the centre.
Nice strong mark from this young lad, Cotter now, settling play down as he can feel victory in his veins. Kicks the ball now long, looking for Dudley over the back. He flies, puts the one hand up, can't take the ball. Giving good support though, the Eastern Suburbs defence stands firmly through the agency there of Bruff. He comes out now with the football is Bell. Bell now kicks to half forward. Coming through giving support is Watson. He overruns the football. Giving now Yateman an opportunity for the Magpies. He's dispossessed. Good support though by his teammate Troop. He picks the ball up, dummies once, hand passes, good team football from Yateman. Looks for his teammate in Farrell, but the umpire's whistle sounded. The tackle was a little high, and Farrell will take the free kick for the North Geelong side, outer side at wing position. Coaching, sorry, Noel?
I was going to say could be a 50-metre penalty there. There's a little bit of depression creeping into the attitude of the Eastern Suburbs players as they throw the ball back willy-nilly, but the umpires have kept this game under control pretty carefully, and they weren't going to be fooled by that one.
Okay, up the half forward. Oh, it's a lovely mark taken by Trevor Martin, the half-back for the east side. He plays on now, swings the ball into the centre of the ground. Oh, great mark from the Magpies there. I think that could be the centre man. I'll just try and pick him up. Yeah, no, it's that half-back flanker in Troop. Lovely mark in the centre of the Western Oval here this afternoon. Troop now comes in. The big drop punt goes to centre half forward. Pansic from behind flies. He's got good support from his teammate there in Cameron. He kicks high, wide and handsome. The big fella, the bear, couldn't take the grab. The ball's fisted through. A minor score recorded on the Victory Trophy scoreboard. We see now that Eastern Suburbs are still stagnant on 4-9-33, and the Magpies moving along to 9-13-67.
Kick into the half-back flank, but again it's North Geelong in the way, and this time it's Yateman again, who's played well in the last few minutes. He's marked on half-forward flank, will kick from just outside the 50-metre line, and a fairly open. Here's the move coming from Ryder once again as he comes in. Oh, big pack there, but in front was Miller. Not paid the mark, but he swung around and kicked offline. 1 point only. But North Geelong, their tails really in the air now. They've got this game well in their keeping as we approach the 20-minute mark, with the scores for Eastern Suburbs still on 4 goals, 9, trailing North Geelong 9 goals, 14. Martin to kick in again. This time decides to go towards the outer half-back flank. Big pack fly there, no one can bring the ball down. North Geelong breaking clear again. This time it's Miller. The lead is to Ryder, I should say, and he's marked again. He's been brilliant in this final term, as he would be now 35 to 40 metres out directly in front. He'll kick from about 40 and can put the nail well and truly in Eastern Suburbs' coffin. 20 minutes in, and they're 9-14-68 North Geelong, leading Eastern Suburbs 4-9-33. A lot of time being taken over. The kick, Ryder moves in. It's a beautiful drop punt. No worries about that one. Straight through the middle it goes.
Great goal.
And that's 3 goals, I think, in the final term to Ryder.
Yes, he's playing well.
North Geelong have added something like 6 goals, 5, I think, in this term. Eastern Suburbs yet to score.
It's amazing, Noel, when tails are up, the teamwork seems to click a little bit better, and the opponents seem to be slow, lethargic. and yet at three-quarter time, who would have thought that there was only one kicking in it?
Well, I think the wind certainly, I'm not suggesting the wind has won the game for North Geelong, but it certainly would have given the North Geelong team confidence to realise that the wind had swung in their favour. They had it in the first and third terms, and then the wind swung just before three-quarter time to give them the wind again in this final term. Here's Troop from half-back kicking the Magpies into attack again. The ball's in towards the centre circle. A chance here for Eastern Suburbs through Brooks. He kicks up onto the half-forward line. Here's an opportunity for Lumsden to mark. Can't take it. Taken away by North Geelong, but again it's Watson, who's been a good player for Eastern Suburbs all day. Loses possession out now, though, as he didn't lose possession at all. Actually, he gave it across to his teammate in Canellis.
Yes, that's correct.
Canellis kicks into the half-forward. A pack develops there, and there'll be a ball up. Eastern Suburbs into attack, one of the rare occasions in this final quarter.
Okay, up with umpire Brad Worth. It's a good bounce. The ruckman fly, no one can take a decisive advantage. Coming through strongly for the Eastern Suburbs was held without the football, but plays allowed to continue. Coming through, Cameron, the captain coach for the reserve side. He gets the ball out to his running teammate. He fumbles the football. It's kicked off the ground by an Eastern Suburbs defender. No advantage is made from that particular move. It comes wide now. The running Yateman. He tells the dummy, but was well tackled, but gets it over to Marnie. Marnie kicks long, but Rido had made position. The kick didn't find him, and the big fella for Eastern Suburbs in John Stefanowski takes the timely mark in the last line of defence. Kicks to the outer side of the ground. A pack of players converge, and umpire Phil Dower says, "Give the football to me, fellas," and we'll have a bounce. Players looking pretty tired, Noel, there, picking themselves off the turf.
Well, it's been a hard game. It's been a grand final, and grand finals are different to any other game of football, and these 36 or 40 players will be pleased when this game is over, particularly the Magpies. Here they are into attack again. There's Ryder once again. He's grabbed it from the half-forward line, kicks towards an empty goal square. Here's a chance for North Geelong as Cotter grabs the ball. He's tackled strongly by the Eastern Suburbs defence. Rendevsky brings him to ground. The umpire moves in, and a bounce will take place. Only 9 metres out from the North Geelong goal, and a golden opportunity there for the Magpies to stitch the game right up. They've still got the ball in attack, and a big Bear will fly here in the ruck with Greenwood. Bear takes the knock too. It comes down close to the goal line, rushed through by the Eastern Suburbs defenders, and another single goes onto the Victory Trophy scoreboard. As we see North Geelong move to 10-15-75, leading Eastern Suburbs 4-9-33. We're 24 minutes into the final term.
Okay, John Stefanowski for the Eastern Suburbs side elects to go to the outer side of the ground. Players fly, no one can take the ball. Marnie, though, the interchange player who's been very dominating this last quarter, gives it across to his running teammate in Miller, has a pot shot at goal, but is offline on this occasion. And again, a minor score recorded on the Victory Trophy scoreboard, and we see that North Geelong 10-15-75, 42-point leaders over the Eastern Suburbs side, who are 4-9-33. The fullback now, again a lovely drop punt out to the outer side, but
there's a
flying high. Yes, as Noel Thomas called it, a top mark has been taken by young Yateman for the North Geelong side. And
he's been a good player, and particularly in this final quarter. The ball hasn't got past him out on that outer flank, as he kicks now in towards centre half forward. Chance here for the Easterners to take the ball out of defence, but they've muffed it. Miller gets it across to Big Bear, and he left foots wide on the goal umpire. Another goal.
All clear.
A great goal there to the Big Bear, Spicklin, who has put through the Magpies' 11th goal, and they've raced ahead now to 11 goals, 15, 81 points, leading Eastern Suburbs 4-9-33. And if it wasn't over 10 minutes ago, it's so far over now that Dick Philpott will be knocking the lid off on this instant.
I'm sure he will be. As we approach the time-on period of this final quarter, surprising, Noel, that Spicklin is in the reserves, actually picked on the interchange bench for the seniors.
Yes, very big, strong boy. I wonder about his pace. Might be a problem in senior football.
I'm sure. OK, back to the football now. East go forward through the agency there of Carey. He's well tackled. Pack of players converge. No one can push the ball out. It finally comes out, though, to the direction of an Eastern Suburbs player in Whitley. Mitch Whitley, Neville Whitley's son, I believe, the president of the Geelong and District Football League. North Geelong now, through good skills, find their teammate in the centre of the ground in Miller. Miller in turn over to his running player. his kick is up to half forward with the football now and was held without the ball, and that's going to be Cameron, the brother, I believe, of the captain coach.
There's the siren.
There's the siren, Noel. It's all over for 1988 season, and the champions for the Geelong District Football League Division 2 Reserves grade, North Geelong.
Yeah, well, great effort, and congratulations must go to North Geelong. Going through a season undefeated is a phenomenal effort. A lot of pressure on this team, certainly in the first half, and they succumbed to a little bit of that pressure, trailed at half-time, but fought back brilliantly in the last 10 minutes of the third quarter and played the game out strongly to go away in the final quarter to a great victory. And obviously the celebrations are starting this instant out on the ground, and will give a lot of confidence to the senior side, seeing their reserves get through like that, Rod.
I'm sure it will. And first of all, I'll acknowledge your sentiments to the president, Dick Philpott, a good friend of mine, but also the captain coach. Is it Peter or Paul Cameron? Paul, is it? I
believe
Paul
it's
Cameron.
Paul, yes.
I believe it was his last game of football today, and I'm sure he'll be an elated young man this afternoon. And congratulations, Camo.
Yes, I certainly echo those thoughts, Ron. I would like to tell you that over the PA system at the moment, President Big Dick Philpott is singing...